Have you ever asked yourself, what should I be using for hunting? And you don't know, and there's so many choices. Look at all these choices here I have on this table. Everything from 30 cals to 22s to 12 gauge and 20 gauge shotguns. There's so many choices. And you don't really know where to start or what would be best for you. Let me give you a few minutes and help you decide. Hey, before you click off of this, go ahead, give this a shot. Stay longer than the 30 seconds. Hear what we're going to talk about. I think you're going to like it. And while you're doing that, click that little thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. Every subscriber helps me out and it helps me grow the channel. If you don't want to subscribe, put it down in the comment of why you didn't want to. Did you find me boring? Did I talk too much? Is this redundant? Am I stupid? Well, hopefully I'm not stupid. First, let me start with this. Always check your state laws on what's allowed. Some states do not allow rifles that can fire more than one shot. Those states suck. Let's just say that. But we're going to start with this one. Grandpa's Old Faithful, okay? This is kind of a do-all. You can do a lot of different types of hunting with this. 2 3/4 inch, all the way up to 3-inch magnum shells in this. So you can do regular squirrel hunting, dove hunting, and turkey hunting. I have actually used this on turkey hunting with a 3-inch magnum. That's that beard you see behind me. Very light. This is great, especially for a first-time hunter. Very simple to use. Brake action. Very simple to use, very simple to use. A little button here, that comes up. Shell auto ejects, hammer back, drop it to fire. This is for very up close, not so much as a precision firearm, but this will work. So this is a New England Partner Model SBI. There is a very, very thick recoil pad on this. This is about a 2-inch thick recoil pad. And let me tell you why. All that force is coming straight back. There's nothing moving in action back to help reduce that recoil. You're gonna feel it all. And it'll put a hurting on you. 12 gauges, okay? What we have here is a Remington 1187. This is actually the Slugster, okay? This one is built to fire rifled slugs. And what that means is this barrel actually has rifling down it, which are the inside grooves inside of a barrel that stabilizes your projectile as it exits. On top of it, there is an optic here, so this can be used out to 100 yards. I believe this optic is a BDC reticle, so it could potentially go out to 300 yards. Also, very light with the synthetic stock. You can hump this around if you're out walking, or you're going to your stand, or you're up. It feels like nothing. This is air, okay? Air. Very easy to use, okay? Now, I would say with an all black coloring like this, you need to break this up a little bit. Now, when you're gonna run optics on shotguns or any other firearm, they need to be rated for that firearm, okay? So this optic is rated, but this is rated to shoot slug, the big boy. A big 12 gauge. This is also a semi-auto. Now this is a magazine fed. This can take 5, 10, or 25 round drums. Semi-auto again. Pull back on the charging handle to load it. This is going to be more of your AR style. This is the Typhoon F12. Very light though. I think total right now it's 7 pounds. When you put a 25 round drum on it, it turns into a 30 pounder. And it's unbearably heavy. But as you can see, we have our rear sight and our front sight, which means now this one is not set up for deer hunting. This is just set up to mess around with. The Turkish shotguns can be a bit finicky. This would be a smoothbore, but I can still shoot buckshot and smoothbore smoothbore slugs. Thick stock, even being a 12 gauge, it's got this large mass of a bolt that's got to push back. And this is built very similar to the AR, so the recoil is very manageable. So maybe you're in a state that allows you to use rifles, okay? Now we've stepped it up a little bit. With rifles, you have a lot of choices. So we're gonna start that off here. This is a 5.56. We got a long 18-inch bull barrel on this, okay? This is set up for long range competition shooting. We got a 1x4 223 optic on 223 and 5.56 are interchangeable rounds. They're not quite the same. You can shoot 223 out of a 5.56, but you can't shoot 5.56 out of a 223. Magazine fed also apply to state laws. Most state laws have a 10 round capacity on rifles, and just get a 10 round mag. Very light, adjustable stock, length of pull. So you want to come in, you can set this up, get really small. Got a little foregrip up here so you can come in, okay? We have some backup 50s. Now, a lot of people will say these are silly and stupid. That's fair. They're allowed to say those things. I've used these several times. I've taken many deer with this rifle, the 5.56, as long as you have, or 223, as long as you have the proper ammunition for deer hunting coming out of the 223 will be more than sufficient. I personally use Winchester Deer Season XP. I love the expansion out of it, and it makes a very quick and ethical harvest. Now, some honorable mentions before we move on, just because we kind of covered a few here, but we probably didn't talk about that. You know, there's a lot of people that are going to say, well, what about a Mini 14? You can use a Mini 14. That's also a 223. That's a Ruger. Bolt action. I personally don't own bolt action. I don't like bolt action because I don't use Grandpa's rifles. Now, in saying that, I prefer a magazine fed. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you need 10 shots. I actually don't need 10 shots. The other reason is that I also hunt in an area that has hogs. If a hog comes by and it's got some piglets with it, I would much rather be able to make 10 follow-up shots than 2 with the bolt action. So now we're going to get into the big boy rounds, okay? These are the hard hitters, tried and true, and we're going to start with a special one. What we have here, this is a Marlin 336W in 3030. Old school lever action. Got a little peep sight here on the back, a little night glow on the front. The 3030 has been used for a long time. Very long time. This is very light. It's a good little brush gun. Now, you're not going to reach out to 500-600 yards. Most of the engagements that I've had hunting until this year have been 50 yards or less. I think this year I actually reached out to about 150 yards. We got a Marlin 3030, so we got a 30 caliber rifle. This is what would be considered a brush gun. Max range with these sights, I really wouldn't push it past 200 yards. You got that large curled hammer that's pulled back. These are very simple. 7-round, I think it's a 7-round tubular magazine, so the runs down here on the bottom. As you can see, runs down here on the bottom. Comes all the way in. You got a little feeder. You feed down in there. It's got that iconic. You gotta remember though, this is the big 30-30, so I call this the tree shaker. And after emptying your magazine on this, your shoulder is gonna be very sore. So we're gonna do another honorable mention here before we get to our last guns. It's only because when you get into the 30 cal area, there's one, and I'm looking to pick it up. It's gonna be one of my next searches, next purchases, and it's an M1 Garand and 30-06. They've got a new reproduction that's coming out of them, and I'm gonna pick one up. Very similar round. Actually, this round replaced the 30-06, and that is the 308. Okay, now I have two 308s here. I have the CMMG Descent upper, little Frankenstein lower with this folding stock on a 16-inch barrel with a nice big optic here, side folding. Wonderful sound. And I've done a little bit of work into this to make things a little bit more ergonomical for me. Great handling. This one's a little bit more heavy though. Now we're going to get into some heavier stuff. Not so much as a custom, but built. Now, when we get into the 308, I took a deer with this year. Reached out to 150 yards, which is close. Well, I watched that deer from 300 yards out with this optic. And I watched it for probably 20 minutes. It was exhilarating. At 150 yards, took it. Fell down and done. Wonderful. Very effective round, okay? Once again, I use Deer Season XP. There would be 308 Deer Season XP Winchester. It's a very effective round. As you notice too on this, we have some backup 45 offsets. Now these are fixed, and these are XS sights, so they got a little night glow in them. So with my fiber optic sight that I have up here, if it's getting real late at night, or it's getting late, sun's going down, we're at last light, and I've lost light and my fiber optic and my tritium, and I can't see out of this anymore, but I can still see enough in here. I can come right here, okay? And the tritium that's in my XS sights will glow, and it'll glow very bright. These are also very easy to carry around. You can have these on a sling, so they can sit on your chest right here. And if you set your sling up right, you can pull up and go. Very simple. We're gonna move to the other side. So this is a little bit long. 16-inch barrel. Okay, a little shorter than the 18-inch barrel, but sitting inside of a blind. All these guns are great inside of an open stand, sitting at the base of a tree. You know, you're on the edge of the field, leaned up against a hay bale, or you're just leaning up against a tree. You're pretending to be a stump, okay? They work great. But if you're inside an enclosed blind, you need to think about length, especially if there's more than one person in the blind. So with that, you don't want your barrel sticking out of your window. You want your barrel stopping right at the edge of your window opening, or just slightly ever out. And the reason is, if you open your window up and you're looking at a deer here, but you have deer over here, okay? And you slide that barrel out, and those deer look up, and now they see something sticking out of that object, they're gonna know something's up. Them ears are now doing ear magic, and they're, you know, directionally looking for sounds, and now they're smelling. And when they do this, whatever you're looking at is gonna start looking at you, and they're gonna see this sticking out. We gotta shorten things up a little bit, okay? And that is where an AR pistol comes in. Now you could do this as a 223, a 300 black, 7.62 by 39. This is actually a 308 AR pistol. This has got a heavy stainless steel bull barrel, okay, short, but it has a 3-chamber muzzle brake on it, so it is deafening. The concussion is loud, very, very, very loud, but it doesn't have that great of an optic on it. It's just it's a 1.5 by 4. I took multiple deer with this year. This is super light. Go figure that this 308 weighs less than this Stag 3G, okay? Now with this was a custom build, and in that, it is a side charging Bear Creek Armory. But if you're inside of an enclosed, you know, a 360 blind, like the Ram 360 that I put up this year, look how small I am now. And 308 is an excellent round to go hunting with. After moving up from a 22 caliber round into a 30 caliber round, this one's been retired. We're not going back. We're gonna stay into the 30 cals. And I wanna keep going up. And eventually, I wanna pick up a 50 BMG. That way I don't have to leave the house. And I can just shoot 500 yards over the lake. Ooh, my hot cocoa make my tummy warm. So we went over all these guns, right? Went over the 20 gauge, 12 gauge, a single shot. We got a 22 caliber rifle. We got multiple 30 cal rifles. Hopefully you guys found this video entertaining and informative as much as I enjoyed giving it to you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Go check out some of my other videos. We're gonna try to keep pumping these videos out.
Damn it, my gadget. I made this.